Hello everyone, what's up? It's me again, Junkmaster3, and yeah, what do you know? I'm finally back with another horror review video. And the film I'm going to make a review of today is the film called Relative Fear. Um, Once again, the looks so stupid, can't see anything. Anyway, Relative Fear. This is a film which is directed by George Mihalka, who is probably responsible for one of my favorite um, my favorite slasher film from the 80s, My Bloody Valentine. This is from 1994, and this one has a really impressive cast. James Brolin, who plays like a cop who looks incredibly much like. I actually thought it was Burt Reynolds for a second because he looked very similar to him. And Denise Crosby has a very minor role in this one, and Emmett Walsh, I think, is a very underrated actor. He's been in tons and tons of films. He plays like the father of the main character, who is played by Darlene Flugel. Can't really pronounce her name, but she was also in Pet Sematary 2, which I think is a very underrated sequel in general. So anyway, it's about this couple that they become parents, and for some reason the Darlene Flugel's character, she feels like there's something wrong with the kid or something. She can't really put her fingers on what, but she always had that type of feeling to it. Um, and this kid obviously has some problems because he hasn't spoken a word in 4 years. So he's sort of like bullied in a way in like all types of schools. So they're trying to get like a help for him, like a special tutor in a way. Um, and of course, there's some really sinister things going on. So when people start getting killed off one by one, like I mean, in really weird, bizarre accidents type of deal, they kind of wonder if the kid is responsible or if someone else is responsible for this. So it's sort of like a mystery type film in general. Uh, I'm not going to say anything else than that when it comes to the storyline because I don't want to spoil it for you. But this one I would say I really appreciated. It has some similarities with the film called Mikey, which came out in the same era. I think it's just maybe 1 or 2 years before this one. Like sort of like an evil kid type vibes to it. But there's a really interesting twist in this towards like the last maybe 20 minutes or so, which I thought was very strange and very bizarre. For a moment, I was thinking, well, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But the more I thought about it, it was like, oh, sort of can sort of see like the twist, like, oh, okay, it's still acceptable, you know. Um, yeah, and I think the acting overall in this film is really great. I mean, like I said before, this movie has a really impressive cast in it. Um, and the main kid, he's pretty good as well. I mean, he doesn't really have a whole lot of like dialogue really at all. He just needs to go around and look a little bit suspicious. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm surprised not more people talk about this one because I think this is a rather underrated film. Maybe not as good as Mikey, but still an entertaining film to watch. Um, in terms of cinematography, really good. It has like a very, I mean, it really has a really nice little like 90s atmosphere to it because some of those films, it kind of feels like a made-for-TV film. And then you might ask yourself, why would you say it's like a made-for-TV film? It has that special type of vibe to it that it feels like, I mean, those made-for-TV films that they made back in the 90s actually felt like they had some really good quality to them. So that was just actually a positive when it comes to that. I mean, usually when you think of made-for-TV films that were made like after the year 2000, it's mostly just CGI garbage, really. But this one I thought was a really interesting premise, and I think it was, yeah, it was pretty damn good actually. What else can I say? There isn't a whole lot of terms of like blood or gore effects. It's quite tame in that type of category. But if you like mystery type thriller type films, I think you'd enjoy this one. And especially if you like Mikey, you probably like this one as well. Even though I would say Mikey is way more violent than this one is. Um, so yeah, I think that's pretty much all I've covered right now. Um, so yeah, I mean, really good actually. I would say 7 out of 10 for this one. Even though I can say I prefer Mikey, this sort of has some similarities with Mikey and The Good Son, which also came out in the sort of like the same era, like the same years. Uh, Obviously, people were obsessed with like Killer Kid films or something like that in that era or whatever. But anyway, Relative Fear, I gave 7 out of 10. Really entertaining. I'm just surprised not more people have talked about this one. So, yeah, Relative Fear. So that's my review for Relative Fear. I tried to cover as much as I remembered, or like things that I remember. Probably missed out on some things that I'm gonna remember after I've made this video. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this little review. I am gonna continue with the horror review videos. At least I'm gonna prioritize those type of videos since it is the month of October. So there's gonna be another horror review video up, which I'm probably gonna make right after this one. So we'll see what film I'm gonna cover then. So yeah, keep your eyes open for the next video, and see you next time. Bye bye.